Hello, Hot Vibes.
Oh yes, welcome back to Sense8 Season 2, Episode 7, I believe. I have no room in my heart for hate. Ooh,
Yes.
excitement. Some interesting things happened this episode.
I watched this. I believe I watched it Saturday after we recorded.
Oh shit, really?
So it's been a hot minute. But
It's been a hot minute.
and actually, when you said the title, I actually remember that scene playing in my head. So like, I remember that part now.
There you go.
Before, all I really remember was the ending with the church moment and the surprise reveal that someone might be still alive or is just in mind space area.
Yeah, how
I
about
don't know.
that?
But that's mainly all I remember. Yeah.
Big things happening.
Yes, but as you talk about it, it will all come back to me.
Yay.
As it does.
Excitement.
Yes.
As it does.
As it does.
I watched it all today.
Oh, good.
This morning. So, fresh in the mind, hopefully.
So, how was your week this week?
How was my week? Normal. I went to work. I had like 2 8-hour shifts and 1 3-hour shift. So when I went in for my 3-hour, I was just like in and out.
That was
It was like so
That's
fast.
so random, a 3-hour shift.
It was so random.
Like, at least make it 4, so it's like a half day or something. But like 3 is just random.
Right? It was so random and really annoying. Like, I mean, it wasn't too annoying because all I was doing was price changes. So I went in, did every single price change I could find, and then went out. So I was like, see ya.
I mean, it's an
bye.
easy day for
Like,
sure,
it was
yeah. But it's just random.
very fast. Very random. Very weird. And then, like, I can't remember what my hours are this week. I feel like they're, like, maybe 2 8-hour days, if I remember correctly. But then, what's interesting is that the week after, I have, like, almost a full week.
Ooh.
I was like, since when? I was like, are they actually listening to me and giving me hours?
Maybe it means you're like they're realizing that you're doing a good job and like want to give you more hour the more time. So that's.
I have worked there for a year. Could they not have realized that sooner?
Look, some people are very slow in the work business, and it takes a while. But like, hey, at least it's better late than never. You know,
I know. Right?
like take it where you can. No, that's
Take
awesome.
it where I can. Also, I got a tattoo on Monday.
Yes, I saw a picture or Instagrams. Yeah, Instagrams of it.
Instagram, yeah. It's still kind of healing, but like, cause like this part is a little like red and irritated.
Yeah, I
and
can
healing,
kinda
but like
see it.
the rest doesn't feel like that. So, and this hasn't like gotten redder at all in the last couple of days. So I feel like it's fine. I feel like it's just irritated.
Yeah. How long did that take?
Like 20 minutes. I mean, it took like an hour of me sitting there and us going, how about this? Let's make this smaller. So
Yeah.
that took a second. But then it was like, doing it was like 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, no, because I was gonna say because it looks like very like simple.
It was just her digging for like the right looking sound wave and being like, how about this one? I was like, that's great. Because I was like trying not to be too picky about it or anything.
Yeah.
And she's like, how about this font? I'm like, great, wonderful. And then we were like shrinking it to like fit my arms.
Yeah.
So like,
What did the 118 mean?
118 is the firehouse number
Oh.
of them in the show. And then I am free is a quote from obviously my favorite character, which you know from because I sent you the scene.
Yeah, no, I know.
But so I have my favorite character, I have my favorite group of people, which is the firehouse, everyone at the firehouse, and then I have the sound wave, which is at the beginning of every episode. It goes bloop bloop bloop. 911, which I remember. So like, it's all there, but I love it, and I'm kind of getting my cousin into it too.
Yeah.
Because she was like, she said like, oh, I've been seeing it everywhere on TikTok. Everybody's talking about it, so I kind of want to watch it, and it's just popped up on UK Netflix, and I was like, do it. And so like after we talked one night, she was like, okay, I'm gonna watch episode 1. I was like, okay, I will too, why not? And so like she was texting me while I was watching it, and she's like, wait, I'm kind of obsessed. And so now she's on, I think in one night, like I woke up the next morning after we finished episode 1. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed because we're done for the night, whatever. I wake up and she's like, so I'm on episode 5. And I was like, bruh, I didn't think we were continuing. So I think her next episode is episode 7 or something like that, but she is very close to season 2, which is when Eddie comes in and the whole ship is like there, and season 2 is my favorite season, so I'm like, dude, it's only 10 episodes for season 1 and then you're there, I swear. Like, but she's like, dude, this is good in season 1 too. I was like, I know. So yay, I have someone else to freak out about it too.
Nice.
But that's pretty much all I've been doing this week because it's on break for 3 weeks, and at the end of this week we get the new episode. So I've just been laying here in the dark reading fanfiction. That's been life. I don't think I've done anything else. Yes I have. I listened to Taylor Swift's new album.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Please, let's talk about that because I'm obsessed.
It's
like, no lie, it's all I've been listening to all week.
Oh, the same, literally same.
It's so good, and not gonna lie, I'm in my sad bitch era again, and mainly because of that.
Well, I mean, obviously, like you cannot listen to that and not be in that sad bitch era.
For real, like I feel attacked specifically by Guilty as Sin, and
I Hate It Here.
Maybe Down Bad.
Oh,
Down Bad as well, but yeah, I Hate It Here, 100%.
Honestly, same. Down Bad, I Hate It Here. Guilty as Sin. Also, literally felt like was calling me out directly was I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Because like that has literally been my whole life. Is I am constantly miserable and suffering, but no one knows it. Not a single. Every time I do a video, every time I'm at work, socialize, like no one fucking knows it. But it's that.
No one knows. Literally, mood. Honestly, I feel that too.
Like I was like dancing because I'm like, yes, I get this. I understand.
Like, just literally the lyric, like, I'm so depressed, but I act like it's my birthday every day. I was like, bitch, I get it.
Well, it's so good.
I fully get it. Oh my god, I was losing my absolute mind. It's so good. And specifically the lyric in Love of My Life where she says, like, da da da, when something counterfeits dead.
Oh yeah,
like,
I think it's like, I'll bring it up. Hang on. That I can't get out of bed because something counterfeits dead. It's like can't get out of bed.
Bruh.
So that's like that. Yeah.
I saw that lyric when I was because I had myself a little date night. Like I gave myself some like jelly beans, some strawberries with sugar on them, and I had some like nice little prime or something like that in like a glass though. Like I was being fancy. And like I dimmed all my lights and I put it on my TV and I just watched every single lyric for every single song, and I was like, when that lyric came up, I was like, actually, that kind of hurts.
Yeah.
And another like standout for me that I didn't realize was a standout when I first heard it, but now I find myself going back to it a lot, is the Albatross. What I do whenever like new songs come up that I haven't heard before in anything, I'm just like, oh, what's this? And I go and I look, like I haven't heard it before when it's added on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what's this? I forgot. But like I've been doing that with every single song. I'm like, oh, actually, wait, what's this? They're all good.
You know, I've just been listening to the album nonstop, just to like try to like learn it. So. Okay.
Literally, while I'm laying here reading fanfiction, I'll just have it on in my headphones. I'll be like, "Oh, this is such a vibe!" Like, I was reading a fanfiction the other day that was like based off of some of the songs.
Ooh.
Like, they had like each section of like different dreams that the person was having was like there was a lyric at the beginning of the dream, and then it was like which other dream and shit like that. So it'd be like based off of songs. And I started it out. And the lyric in I don't remember which song it was, but it played in my ear while I read it, and I went, whoa, that was weird. Like, that was really coincidental. That was very weird. But, dude, that album is fucking phenomenal. I love it. I adore it. Oh my god. It's one of my, maybe it's up there with, like, my maybe top 3 albums from her.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know where it would rank, because I'm still in the listening process of, like, still trying to, like, listen and, like, and learn it, and then, like after a while, once I stop, I'll be able to have a better ranking of it. But like,
yeah,
it's definitely like up there for me.
It's so up there for me, specifically because of the lyrics. Like those lyrics are handcrafted.
Oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
Holy cow. But anyway, yeah, I could talk about it for hours, but I'm not gonna. Yeah. So we need to do like a whole episode for it or something.
Yeah.
But anyway. How was your week? Was that your week?
I mean, that was pretty much my week, really.
Was it really just Taylor Swift?
There's nothing new. No, just listening to
just Taylor Swift.
Yeah, just listening to Taylor Swift. That was it.
Mood, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Sense8.
Yeah.
Season 2, episode 7. I was about to say I can do it with a broken heart.
I can do it with a broken heart.
I have no room in my heart for hate. Okay. Christ. Anyway, so we begin with basically Riley's on the plane. She's on the plane to Chicago, and Will is freaking out. He's pacing up and down the aisles. And he's, I can't believe I let you do this. I can't believe you're going there alone. And she's like, okay, we all agreed it's worth the risk. You need to chill out. Yeah. He's not chilling out. So Riley's asking Nomi to back her up, and Nomi's like, look, the fake ID worked in the UK, so we're probably gonna be fine. But Will's like, look, outgoing isn't the same as incoming, you know? Like, there's different, like, when you go into a country or when you're leaving it, they don't check as much, but when you're going into a country, especially from a different one, they check more. So they're, like, inside the TSA network. So they've hacked in, they're looking through. So if there's any alert, they'll know. So they have this on lock. She's like, I swear she's gonna be fine. Chill. Nomi and Amanita are still in the cabin in the woods while this is happening.
Yeah.
So the Wi-Fi isn't great. And Amanita's like holding up by the window trying to get something. But Bug's on it. He's got it. They're talking to him on the computer. And Riley is done with Will's worrying. Nomi stresses that he only does so out of love.
Yeah.
Like, he loves you so much, and that's why he's worried about you. And she's like, look, we should just let her sleep. There's nothing we can do right now. She's on a plane in the sky. Nothing's gonna happen right this second. Yeah. So why don't we let her sleep a little bit so that when she does arrive, she's ready for anything. And Amanita's mom comes in, and she informs Nomi and Amanita that dinner's ready. So they are gonna go as well. But before they do, Bug informs them that the TSA bumped up their warning level because of another mass shooting. So there's a little bit of a hiccup, but it's not about her. So hopefully she'll be able to slide through.
Yeah.
Still. So Will calms down. He sits down next to Riley, and they kind of have a little cuddle on the plane. And he asks her to be careful. She says she will. So that's where we're at with them right now. A little bit stressful. So with Kala, she kind of interrupts a meeting with Rajan and Ajay. But I kind of found it funny because she's walking in and she's like, he's in a meeting. She's like, nope, this is more important. Yeah. And she walks in, and right when she does, she's like, oh no, am I interrupting again? I'm so sorry. Like, oh dear, I had no idea. But she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll go to leave. But Ajay is like, oh no, you're obviously the priority here. You're his beautiful wife. I could never get in the way of you. Like, you're so pretty. He's being smarmy. Yeah. And he's like, you should spend more time with your beautiful bride, you know, as he leaves. I'm like, okay, you're weird, but alright. Kala is here because she discovered that shipping reports for the drugs have been falsified. She's been looking more into this. Everything the controllers approved has been doctored, and he's like, oh, you're beautiful even when you're so upset with me. It's like, no, okay, can we please table that? The ship there, we are shipping apparently like old and useless and defective and possibly poisonous drugs out. And Rajan's like, no, it's just standard procedure, you know, they have to vacate their storage space, and they can't waste drugs, even like the slightly ineffective ones, just because they are slightly below standard. And Kala is kind of shocked and is like, but what if we were getting those drugs? Like, what if those like counterfeit, like not as good drugs went to you or me? And he's like, don't you worry, that'll never happen. We usually ship them to distant places. And she's like where? And he's like, oh, you know, China, Africa. And she's like, what? And Caprice is like, you mean like Kenya? And Rajan's like, oh yeah, I mean, sure, maybe. It's possible. And she's like horrified, because that's her family. Like, Caprice is like in her cluster now. Like, that's her family. She knows what he's gone through. And so she's upset, she's horrified, she backs away from him and she leaves. And you can kind of see on his face that he's like, did I fuck up? I think I fucked up.
So, okay, so when I first watched this scene, I first thought, I first got a little mad because I thought that the show was purposely trying to make Rajan all of a sudden like be a bad guy to like justify the affair.
Yeah, I was worried you would think that.
I was like super pissed for a moment, and then later they course correct, and I'm like, oh, thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah, I was worried you would think that, but don't worry.
Okay, good. I was gonna. Well, I was real mad for like 2 seconds, and then the next time he showed up, I'm like, okay, good. See, this is the Rajan I know.
This is the Rajan I know. It's fine.
Okay. Just need to get that.
Yeah, no, I was worried you'd think that for a second, but no, this was just, honestly him being great still.
It's literally just him not realizing what he was doing wrong. Kala isn't, well, yelling, but also telling him what he was doing wrong. Him thinking about
Yeah.
being like, okay, I did something wrong. Let's fix this.
Yeah.
And he tells her, he's like,
Let's
hey,
fix it.
you were right. I was wrong. I'm going to fix this. Which makes him better, which makes the affair worse.
And now it makes it better for real. Like, how does it make him better? He just keeps getting better, like, for real.
Oh my god, I hate it here. I want to go Secret Gardens in my mind.
I want to go to the Secret Garden in my mind. I hate it here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's keep going. Ugh.
Christ, yeah, it's a whole thing. We'll get to that a bit later, more about what he says. But yeah, I agree. It's like it just keeps making him better.
No, it really does. It really does.
So, as that happens, we do see a small shot of Capheus walking into the KDRP, the Kenyan Democratic People's Republic, offices, and Kalmanyaga sees him and smiles, and so they go to talk about stuff. That's what he's doing there. But then we go back to Riley, and she wakes up to a woman showing her a news report regarding a shooting in New York City, which is apparently the mass shooting that they upped the TSA protocol for. And she says she used to wonder if there were things that she could do to change the world. But that was before she understood that those thoughts are unskilled. Trying to change the world only leads to suffering. You only change yourself. And Riley disagrees.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't see that. And she's like, I know, that's why I can't really help you. And Riley's like, oh, wait a second. You weren't sitting there before, were you? Like, I would have pinned that a little quicker, because it's like, she doesn't look like, I feel like you would have noticed her if you sat down and looked to your right, you know? She's kind of like got this monk thing going on, and she's bald, and she has a tattoo on the back of her head, kind of like, looks like a tree.
Yeah, very noticeable.
Very noticeable. So, but Riley has just woken up, so.
Yeah, she's like, what?
She's like, oh, so you weren't sitting there before. And the woman says, you know, I hope we can visit again one day when your thinking doesn't reflect their thinking. And Riley's like, whoa. We're going to table that for a second, but like, why can't I visit you? Because she's trying to visit her for a second. Doesn't work. And the woman replies that there are forces working on every life that remain beyond control or comprehension, and then disappears. So, this woman will come back around.
I mean, I hope so, because this was just very random. Now I'm confused.
It was very random, yes. We will see a lot, not a lot more, but we will see more of her in the future. But she seems to be someone maybe important, or maybe someone that knows a little more than maybe
definitely
Riley
in
does.
the know.
In the know, for sure. So now with Nomi, Amanita, and her parents are kind of discussing the mass shootings, and I don't fully agree with them here, but I see where they're coming from, I guess.
I don't even remember what they said, I'll be honest.
So they're talking about the mass shooting, and they're like, it was a man. Of course it was a man. Like, it's always a man. Like, if violence has a gender, it's male. Which, I mean, statistically, there is, like, statistically, yeah, sometimes it's more a man that would be doing it, but that doesn't mean the same thing. Like, I feel like women have just the same.
I was gonna say,
capacity
I feel
violence.
like that's very like I don't know if stereotyping is the right word, but like kind of that like range. But like also like even in the show, I mean, was it last episode or 2 episodes ago where Leela Fatih just went in and started murdering everyone?
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
She kicks it. I mean, she kills people. Like it's like I don't.
I like to think that this scene, when they say that, is very much not like the show preaching to anyone. It's very much like, oh, this is just another group of people. Like, this is their lives we're looking into and what they believe. Just like, you know, Wolfgang believes other things, or like Leto believes other things. So this is just what they believe. Yeah. So I think this is just another window into another type of family. And what they believe, and not the show trying to be like, guys, this is what's right.
I definitely didn't pick up on that. It definitely just seemed like a regular family conversation. So like, I wasn't like.
I thought that for a second. I did think that for a second, but then I kind of reframed it and I went, okay, let's look at what the show has been so far
Yeah.
and kind of go from that lens. But I don't necessarily agree with them in that way because, yes, statistically, a lot of the times it is the man with the gun. You know, that's a lot of the times is what happens. But that doesn't mean that there's no way that like women will end up being like that too.
Yeah.
Like I think human nature is like, I wish we weren't violent, and I don't think we're born violent, but humanity these days, I feel like there's a greater capacity for violence than there has been ever in history before us.
I wouldn't say humans were born violent. I don't think we're born violent.
No.
I think it's humans are born for survival, and people view survival as different ways. And if survival means you need to get money, and if robbing a bank is how you get money, you will do it by human nature, or like getting a job, or like it's kind of like surviving. Like if someone's coming at you and you're scared of them and you think that killing them is the best way to do it, human nature, your survival instincts kick in. So I think it's more of just survival rather than violence is what human.
I definitely see that. Definitely see that. And they talk about that when talking about, the difference between Homo sapien and Homo sensorium. Like the fact that, they're kind of violent against Homo sensorium just because they want to protect their own kind of thing. So that kind of lends to the survival aspect of it all. Grace is kind of saying how she's fascinated by the fact that every generation believes in different things. Like, she's like, when it was me and your dad's around, like, we believed in pot and sex. That was everything to us. Like, Woodstock probably and all that fun stuff. She was interested in ending patriarchal control over women's bodies, which, period, that I believe in.
Yeah.
That I fully believe in. And Nomi is sitting there kind of in awe, and she's like, I love that none of you ever cared which one of you was Amanita's biological father. And they were like, well, what can you do? Like, when this amazing young thing smiles at you, like, you can't just deny her. And Nomi's like, oh yeah, fully, I agree. They're just being all cute and shit. But I love their family. They're a very happy family. And it's awesome that Amanita's got, like,
so it literally is a Mamma Mia situation. They just don't know.
It is, yeah, fully. It's a Mamma Mia situation. So yeah, she has no idea, but they've all embraced it. They're like,
like that's valid.
Like, that's our kid. And honestly, I would too, because Amanita's like fucking amazing. So now, interesting scene here. I would love to get your take on it. This is Lito, Daniela, and Hernando's kind of scene. What do you mean rolling your eyes? I love this scene.
I remember that you made this a vibe. I remember that.
I did.
And I did. I'll honestly, I'll get there. Just let's go.
I will fight for this scene. I will tell you that right now. I will fight for it. I love this scene so fucking much. Okay. So, Lito and Hernando and Danny, they arrive home singing after the they're having fun. They're like, we're back, we're home, yeah, fuck yeah, we're here, we're queer, woo. They're having a great time. They're happy, they're uplifted. But their arrival kind of takes a dark turn when Joaquin appears in the apartment. First time we've seen him since season 1. And he kind of surprises them while they're happy, and they're like, fuck, get out. And he tells Danny that he wanted nothing to do with her anymore. He's like, I swear I was gonna leave you alone, but I told them, in quotes, that you were beyond saving, but they needed to see it for themselves. And it turns out he brought Danny's parents with him. Hate them. And they've apparently come to take her home. And Danny says that, oh, too bad, I'm happy here. And so Joaquin tells them that, Lito and Hernando, they changed Danny, like they've made her like this, like, look at that, ew. And Danny's father tells Joaquin to get Danny's bag and that they're leaving. And so he goes to grab it, but so does Lito. And he's like, no, you're not taking that. No way. And he's like, oh, you want to go again? And calls him the F slur again. And Wolfgang appears next to him. He's like, all right, you wanna go again? Fully, I will go again. And so Joaquin backs off. And Lito's like, thank you to Wolfgang. It's really nice that he was there for just a second, but still helpful. And Danny's like, I'm not going. That's not a thing that's happening. And so her father threatens to cut her out of, his world, cut her out from his money and pretty much everything. It's like, fine, you don't come back then. You're gone. And Danny's like, look, I know you don't understand, but I have a relationship with these two men that isn't built on threats, control, or money. that seems to be all you fucking care about. And her father points out that she's living off a trust fund. She's like she's got money coming from them. So it's like, okay, you really want to cut that off? But Lito says that he can keep the money because Danny doesn't need it because she's with them. She's under their protection. And Danny's mother's like, oh, please come home, please. And he's like, look what you're doing to your mother. But Danny's like, fuck that. I am home. I'm home. Like, leave me alone. And so her mother leaves, her father leaves, and so does Joaquin. And they all kind of hug. And they're like, it's okay, you're home. They're like repeating it over and over again, saying like, I'm home, you're home. I will fight for the scene. If you have something negative to say about it, I will be furious with you.
I don't know if it's negative. It's
Okay.
just, I didn't really care.
Why?
Okay, so we're both watching this scene in two very different ways, and I was thinking about how to frame this while I was at work, because that's what I do, because I need to go to see cards in my head at work.
Yes.
So the way you see this is you see a victim of an abusive relationship and toxic parents who is finally standing up against them.
Absolutely.
Correct. Okay. I see it as a fetishizing pervert standing up against an abusive relationship and toxic parents. That's the way I see it.
I don't think she's a fetishizing pervert. I think you're going too far there.
I think season 1 proves that is the case. She had definitely fetishizing the gay relationship. She was taking a picture of two guys making out last episode.
Yes, true, but I think she's grown. Like, this is her family now. Like, I don't think she's going around, like, yeah, she took one picture last episode of a happy couple kissing. Fine. Probably not great. But, like, I don't think she's season 1 Danny anymore. I think she's grown from that, and this is her family. Like, they're, like, she wouldn't go around, like, taking pictures of people having sex anymore. Unless it's them, and they say it's fine.
I don't really see it like that. I think it's still... I think she has definitely grown to care about Lito and Hernando as Lito and Hernando more than just two gay guys, and, like, just for the sex of it all. I just didn't really care all that much. Like, I just don't care. And I think, again, the picture last episode is really what, like, drove me crazy and more negative, or I guess not caring, because, like, Danny, this whole season, I haven't really cared about her. Like, it's not that I hated her, I just didn't really care. And then, but the pictures last episode were just, like, it's like the whole old habits die hard. It's coming back.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like...
No, it's old habits die
hard. It definitely rubbed me the wrong way. So this whole scene about her, like, standing up to her parents, I mean, good, fine. It just, I didn't really care or resonate with it that much, because I don't really care that much about Danny as a character at all, I'll be honest. And also, I feel like it's a lot of hype for one scene. This is one scene, we just met her parents, and there wasn't really a lot. Like, it's not like we've seen them before. It's not like they were constantly trying to get her back more until up to this moment. Maybe they'll come back and it'll be more of a fight and struggle. But to me, I kind of just saw it as like a one-off. Like, oh, they're here to try to get her back, and then I didn't really like it. I didn't feel like it. I felt like the parents come back. I felt like it needed to be more of a thing, and it wasn't. Joaquin coming back was a different story, but like her standing up to him. But she already kind of did in season 1 too. So like.
I do see what you mean there. I see what, because like we didn't know anything about her parents really, except for like that they were friends with Joaquin.
Yeah.
And like this was very much just like boom, there. Like there wasn't really any lead up to it. I do see that.
Yeah, I wish there was. That's mine.
I do agree with you there. I don't think I'll ever agree with you on Danny, but it's okay. But I just again I do love it because it's not just her standing up to her parents and her abusive acts. It's, in my opinion, it's them cementing their relationship, to be honest with you, like the three of them, like saying this is my family, like 100%, like, and I'm not giving it up. Like it's not just her cementing it, but it's them cementing it and backing her up and being like, yeah, she's staying with us, because she's our family. Like that's what I got from this scene.
And I see that, and I think had I liked Danny more, I would have liked the scene more, but again, I just don't really care about her anymore. I'll be like her, honestly, her, like, I just don't, like, anytime she's on screen, I just don't really care, and it's just kind of like her scenes are kind of just like whatever. I'm like, I shrug them off. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like,
okay, if you said
I'm sorry. I didn't get over it.
I know.
I didn't get over it. I'm so mad.
I know. You didn't
I'm
get
so
over
mad.
it. I get it.
I'm stubborn. It's fine.
I'm not, but alright. Nomi and Amanita and her family having a lovely time dancing in the kitchen. And they're all doing the dishes, but a worried Will kind of appears and is like, anything? He's stressed and is like, okay, chill. He's like, what happens if the ID fails though? And Nomi has faith in it. She's like, that's the best one I've ever probably done. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you even know so much about fake IDs? And she's like, well, the government makes it really difficult for trans people to get new IDs. So I make it easy. So it turns out for years that she not only has been a hacker, but she's made fake IDs for a lot of trans people who are trying to get, their new identity.
But so are they fake IDs or real IDs? Just easier to get? Because she said it's hard for trans people to get real IDs, so I make it easier for them. So are they real IDs that are just without a lot of paperwork or process or whatever you need to do to get a new ID, or are they just like they're fake and they're just like here, easy? So I was thinking about that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're fake IDs, okay. But it's at least something.
Okay.
It's definitely not like their real government ID, but it's at least something that they can do. Like, if they're going to get a drink at a bar, they can be like, oh, yes, I'm a dude. This is my name. But without it being too, governmental, I guess. Like, small things you could do with a fake ID. But, yeah, I guess they are still fake. They're not, real or anything. Okay. But at least it's something.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, it's a bad thing regardless. I was just, trying to clarify. Yeah. Because I originally took it as, oh, is she somehow making real IDs and, just passing them out, easily? Or, I didn't know.
I wouldn't put it past her, to be honest.
I mean, no, that's the thing. That's why I was like, wait, is it real or fake? I don't know.
Hold on. But yeah, Will's still stressed, basically. That's the draw of that scene. But she says that, I don't know if she's arrived yet. Doesn't say she has. But a second later, we do see that she finally has arrived. She's there in Chicago, and she's gotten past TSA, apparently. And Will is worried about BPO waiting for her there. However, someone else is.
I love Diego.
I love Diego,
honestly,
too.
I was so on his side this whole fucking episode. I was honestly valid.
Yeah.
So fucking valid.
Valid.
Go off. You have a right to be pissed. Go ahead.
So true. That's his best friend. He hasn't told him any of this shit.
He's
so
I agree
with you
there.
there.
That's fucked.
He does. He has. But he had a good reason, to be fair with you.
He definitely did, but Diego doesn't know that. He's he was left in the dark.
Exactly. That's your friend, and he's just gone. So
yeah.
Definitely see that there. But she runs into Diego, thank God, and she hugs him really excitedly. She's like, Diego! And he's like, okay. You're the chick with the weird accent, right? The one from the phone. Yeah. And she's like, that's me. And so they're very grateful that he came, as Will didn't really expect that he would. But Diego tells Riley that Will said he would provide an explanation as to why he disappeared for over a year without a word. Will says he's sorry, and Riley kind of delivers that message to him, but he'll deliver it a little more later. And Diego and Riley arrive they're at Superdog. They've been driving through Chicago, and Riley's kind of wistfully staring out the window because Will is wistfully staring out the window. That's his home.
It's kind of
he hasn't been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been there for the last year, and he missed it. He had to leave so quickly. And Riley's like, yeah, if we're stopping at Superdog, let's eat. Fine, whatever. And she's like, that makes sense, apparently, since Diego eats when he's nervous, because that's what Will tells her. And Will says he misses the malts, so Riley asks for one of those, and he's like, that's funny, that's what he always orders. So she gets that for him, kind of, which is really sweet. So we're back in Chicago. Very excited.
Yeah.
Before we learn more about that, though, we go to Capheus. And Capheus and Zakia are visiting the art school where his mom teaches dance. So his mom is doing great. She's honestly back to teaching. She's having a wonderful time. And she's like, oh, welcome. So glad you're here. And he introduces her to Zakia. And she's like, I've heard about the work that you do here with the kids. It's amazing. And I love her whole explanation of this. As she also explains that art is fundamental to the development of imagination, because all the things that we have, everything that anyone's ever made, you had to imagine it first. It takes imagination first. And I'm like, so true. So I love his mom.
Yeah.
And she heard about her education and that she studied in London. She's like, that's such a gift. And she's like, yes, it was. I absolutely loved it. And she wonders why Zakiya turned down so many jobs and came back here instead. And Zakiya said she loves Kenya as much as Capheus does, despite its challenges, which is why she's so excited that Capheus is running for office. And apparently his mother did not know that yet.
Nope.
No, she did not. And she's like, "You're what?" And he's like, okay, mama. Let's deep breaths. let's take a second. There's something I've been meaning to tell you.
Yeah.
So they have to sit down to have that conversation. But before they do, we go to Kala, who's talking to Sun. She's kind of back in her childhood home. She went home because of what happened with Rajan. And she's talking to Sun, and she tells her that she used to picture her future, but she never imagined it like this. And Sun says that nobody knows what life they'll live, and that's what makes life feel alive. And Kala wonders if that's also true for people, and if it is, like regular Homo sapiens, and if it is, if that means you never really know your husband or your brother. And this level of uncertainty kind of makes Kala a little uncomfortable. And Sun's like, look, there's no alternative. This is what we have to deal with in life. Life is that's what life is. You never know what's coming next. And at that moment, Kala's parents come up to announce that she has a visitor, and Rajan is there with some flowers. And Kala's like, okay, we need to talk.
Yeah.
So, but before we find out about what, we go back to Riley and Will. And Riley explains her connection to Will, to Diego, and what's going on there. That's the explanation. He's like, so you got these different voices in your head, and Will is one of them. She's like, yeah. So Diego checks if Will can hear anything. He says, if I say go take a flying fuck at a rolling donut, Gorski, can he hear that?
And she's like, yeah.
And yeah, she's like, yeah, I guess so. But easier to check if he can hear him. He ends up calling him. And she's like, your phone's about to ring. And he's like, what? And the phone rings, he picks it up, and Will is there, and he's like, look, I'm sorry. Just give me a second to explain. And Diego's like, we don't have the time for you. You could have explained to me for the last year. And Will's like, okay, ask me one question. Answer me one question then. How many times have the feds or Homeland Security called you in for questioning? Which is the point here. And Diego's like, more times than I can count. So Will says that that's the reason he couldn't tell him, because he knows his partner loves being a cop.
Yeah.
And if he was called in, he would have to lie to protect Will, and he didn't want to put him in that position, which is fair. And Diego says best friends care more about each other than a job. So, but Will points out that he's, he has a family. He didn't want to put them under that too. He's like, yeah, my family misses you too while we're on it. Like, we all miss you here. And he's like, I miss you too. I miss my whole life there, and I'm trying to get it back, but I need your help. And so Diego's like, fine, what do you need me to do? Because that's his best friend.
Yeah,
He'll do anything for him at the end of the day. He'll do anything for him at the end of the day. So.
Yeah.
No, I love Diego. He's fucking awesome.
He's great. Like, honestly, I forgot all about him once Will left, but, like, now that he's back, I'm like, he's fucking great.
Diego's fucking awesome. I just love Diego. I like how he just ends up believing it easily. Like, he's just like, fine. Whatever. Like, just awesome. Yeah. I love him. Back with Kala. Rajan concedes to the immorality of the company's actions. He's like, look, I've been working there since I was a child. I was packing boxes when kids were playing football. And once I learned how to do math, my father told me how to crunch numbers. Like, it's been my whole life since I was little. And he was raised to believe in the company like other people believe in God.
Yeah.
So that's basically, like, has been his religion this entire time, while hers has been with Ganesha. And
I really like how we compare it to that, because it's like, I think that will help her understand, be like, oh, okay, like, that was a good metaphor.
Absolutely.
For comparison.
That was a very good metaphor. And the more he sacrificed, the more his God would protect him and his family. That's what he was led to believe. But this focus caused him to lose sight of things that a man in his position should never lose sight of. But he's completely changed everything now, because he's like, the way you looked at me when you told me that this was wrong. The way you looked at me when you told me this, and I just replied the way I did. I saw the man I had become in your eyes.
Yeah.
And I did not want to be that man. I didn't want you to ever look at me like that again. To be a person that you could look like that. I can't words. I can't be the person that you would look at like that.
Look at that like that,
yeah. Yeah. And he's like, you're my life, and the rest is just belongings. It's just things. And more than anything, he wants to be the man that she believed him to be. And so he's like, company's gonna do different things from now on. It's completely, I've changed it all. It's gonna be different now. I'm like, damn, this man really is a gem of a human.
And she's having an affair.
I'm so intrigued by what you're gonna say when we get to the last episode.
I
really
want
fucking
to.
am.
No, you know what's? I know. I have an idea what's gonna be. I already fucking know it. It's gonna be like her telling Rajan all this stuff, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay, because I want you to be happy. You do that." And he's gonna be completely fine with all of that because he's a fucking gem of a human. And it's gonna piss me the fuck off even more because he's gonna be great.
Yeah. Okay, but I can't tell you what happens.
I know you can't, so like, don't say anything. But like, I'm not. That's my theory. I'm putting out there.
I'm just eager. To
I am too. Cause I want to see how this whole thing wraps up now. Like, I just need a fucking.
This is gonna be fun. Anyway.
Okay.
So now with Capheus, back at home, Capheus and Shiro are arguing because she's still not happy. She says no, like straight out. She's like, no, you're not doing it. And apparently it's like, she's like, politics turn people into fools and fools into thugs. Politics killed your father. And he understands, but he's been looking around and seeing the things that are wrong. And he wants to fix them. And maybe he's just as foolish as his father was. And she was like, we stood here and had that exact same argument when you were a child. We've had this exact same argument. And we get that flashback. We see Shiro and Capheus, his father, are arguing while young Capheus is spying on them. And his father wants to say yes to the offer he received because they can't escape hope. They can only make this country a better place if they do it themselves, which is exactly what Capheus has been saying. He really gets all that from his father and his kind heart from his mother. Like, those two people really created, like, the most wonderful human. Yeah. Like, both of their DNA really lend to him so well. And Capheus apologizes to his mother. He's like, I don't want to cause you pain. I'm sorry. I will withdraw. But she says no to that again. She's like, no, you're not going to do that. I only ask that you remember that he's the only thing, like, Capheus is the only thing that she has left from his father. Like, you're all I've got. So I need you to remember that if we're going into this. And so they hug, and apparently he's maybe going to run. So we shall see.
Yeah.
And now with Sun, we visit her parents' graves. She goes to visit her parents' graves, and no,
sorry.
We'll get there. Oh. I'm shocked you didn't mention it before, but
I know I completely forgot. And until you mentioned the grave, I'm like, oh wait, right. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm so stupid.
Bitch, right? Okay. But before we get to that, she sits there. She's apologizing to her father. If he hadn't come to the prison, maybe he would still be alive. And she kind of admits to feeling lost. Everything she considered her home is gone now. And every time she begins to feel like she belongs somewhere, she has to leave again. And she's trapped between what she wants and what she knows she can't have. She misses her mother. She measures so much of her life against one afternoon with her. And we get that flashback to that afternoon. And she says, after losing a match, Sun apologizes to her mother for losing and making her sad. And her mother says she's not sad. She's always afraid for her when she comes to these matches. And Sun says, okay, but I'm not afraid. And she's like, that's why I'm crying, Like, Sun's teacher told her that he never met a fighter as fearless as Sun.
Yeah.
And when she watches Sun and sees that fierce determination, she knows that Sun's life will not be like hers, and that makes her very happy, which is why she's crying. So I love that she got to talk about that with her, and actually, like, that Sun had someone who was proud of her when she went to these fights, because her father definitely wasn't, And Sun recalls that that was the day that her mother took her to the Spring Festival, which we saw her doing art with on the prison wall.
Yeah.
That's when they were painting. And Riley appears and tells Sun that there's a lot of her mother in her. Like, she can see it. And Sun says that she was really more nourished by her mother, unlike Junki, who, you know, it was her duty to raise him in her mother's place, but she thinks she failed. And Riley tells Sun that what happened wasn't her fault. Nomi says a lot of people never get the kind of love that you got from your mother. She certainly didn't, and it didn't turn her into a murderer. You know? Like some people. And Sun says that doesn't change the feeling that she has. And Kala knows feelings can, you know, overwhelm logic better than a lot of people. But at the same time, logic can ruin the emotions that make life worth living. And Sun says her father was killed because of her. And that's fact, you know, not feeling. And Kafia says for many years after his father was killed, he believed it was his duty to avenge him. He recalls stealing a gun and imagining killing the men who killed his father. And he never did because of his mother. You know, he asked her if she hated the men who killed his father, and she told him that she has no room in her heart for hate. And that led him to dumping the gun. He threw it in a lake, in a pond. And Sun misses a mother to give her such advice. But Will takes her hand and tells her that, you know, she has them. They're all there giving her this advice, surrounding her. They all have such different life experiences, and they're all giving her advice that can help her in this situation. And she thinks he's going to tell her to trust the law for a second there, because that's who Will is. But he's not. And Wolfgang says his father was like her brother. The world is kind of better off without them, he says. And Sun is now more confused than before. She's like, you're all giving me all this different advice, and kind of counteracting each other. But Lito says that, you know, that's because there's no easy answer. There's no right or wrong way to do this. But whatever she decides to do, she won't have to do it alone. And they're all kind of gathered around her and comforting her.
That was sweet.
It's such a nice scene because they're all like helping her through this and just like making sure she's not alone in it. And I love them so much. And so with that lovely, lovely scene, we will take a break here.
Sure.
And when we come back, Lito gets some upsetting news.
Yes, I have a question about, I think it's post-upsetting news in the elevator. I have questions about that.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Good. Because I have like, I mean, not answers, but like an interpretation.
Okay, cool.
So we will be right back. Welcome back to Sense8, Season 2, Episode 7. I have no room in my heart for hate. We begin with Lito, who is very happy. He's on cloud 9. He's dancing into his agent's office with the video from Pride on his phone. It's got 2 million hits. He's like, have you seen this? This is amazing. What's up? And his agent is like, oh, this is awkward. Oh, what are you doing here? I thought your lawyer was gonna talk to you. And his lawyer referred him to his agent. So
no one wants to give him the bad news.
Nobody wants to give him the bad news. Or the dick news. And so Lito knows he's been struggling to find the right role. He's like, oh, I feel like I had to do this first to gain some perspective and then be able to choose something. But the agent is like, actually, I'm not gonna coddle you. We no longer represent you. And he's like, what? He's like, look, I fought for you. This has nothing to do with me. I wanted you to stay, which is a whole load of bull.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And he's like, look, I think it's very important what you're doing. It's great. But some of our high-level clients don't agree with your, what do you call it, lifestyle? And they made management choose. They said it's either them or you. So the agent says they'll give the standard press talk, you know, like we'll just be like, oh, we parted ways, best of feelings. And he's like, what do you mean though? You said I'm your guy. And the agent's like, well, you lied to us too. I'm like, excuse the fuck out of me. Bitch. Well, fucking hate that man. So he's kind of heartbroken. He no longer has an agency, and he's making his way to the elevator with. And what's so I love about this scene, it's so like jarring, is that when he walks through this area of the office, it becomes silent. Like everyone turns to look at him.
Well, because everyone knows he just got like cut, so it's like awkward.
Yeah. Everybody is silent and they just turn to stare at him. It's like an immediate cut of like no noise. And I'm like, oh fuck. But he gets on the elevator and there's another guy standing there. And he suddenly hugs him and thanks him. And then leaves.
What the fuck was this?
Okay, this is very so this is I believe this person here is like also gay. And they're an
Okay.
actor under this agency as well. And when Lito came out and like went to Pride and made this whole speech, it made him kind of like feel like he wasn't alone. That's what I garner from this. And be like, thank you for like at least paving some way. And like, I'm sorry that this happened to you. It shouldn't have happened to you. And it's a very secret place. You know, it's inside the elevator. No one else is there.
Yeah.
So this is the only place where you can truly say, hey, thank you. And the way they hug each other, like without even, no words need to be said other than thank you. Where like, this man is crying, but also Lito's crying. And they're like clinging to each other because they're from the same place. They're actors in a very repressive kind of area that don't want them to be out. And I think that's what this was.
Okay.
That's what I saw. I love that scene.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I was just very confused. I'm like, who is this guy? And then he hugged him. I'm like, what? And so I was very thrown off by it. I was very taken aback by it, but I definitely see what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
like
another gay man, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very much giving like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I don't want this to happen to me too. But you've done something truly great for everyone. And I'm just like, this is as much as I can give you right now. And oof, damn, it like hits. But I love that scene. I think it's because so little words are needed, to be honest with you. After that, we move on to Sun.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to change, like I thought of this vibe like an hour ago, and I was like, oh, I should have done that instead of just saying Moon. I should have been like kicking ass, but make it sexy. Like,
well, it was.
Make it sexual tension.
It was great.
Like,
I was like watching. I'm like, damn, this is so hot.
It's hot. Like, I love this scene so much. So basically, she's still at the cemetery, and Detective Moon appears behind her, being the man that was apparently sweeping the stairs before and was kind of hiding away. And he's like, I just wanted to talk to you. You don't have to go anywhere. I'm not gonna arrest you. I brought no one with me. I just want to talk. And he's been coming here every morning before his shift, figuring she would eventually come. And if so, she would come early because no one would be here. And he knows it would be important for her to visit her father's grave after he committed suicide. And she's like, my father did not commit suicide. My father was murdered. Let's get that straight. And he's like, that's quite an accusation. And she's got no evidence and doesn't really require him or the law to believe her. Because she's gonna work it out. Don't you worry. She's got it. And she's seen the system from the inside and out now that she's been to prison. And she doesn't really expect much justice from it. So you can leave it to me. And as Moon kind of approaches her, he tells her that, look, I'm on your side. Your brother is not the man the media believes him to be. I know that. We suspect there's a lot of illegal money flowing through his company, and they just can't prove it yet. And she's like, okay, so this is the law you're so into? And he's like, it's not very perfect. And he asks her to trust him, though, and swears he will protect her. But she doesn't really need protection.
I mean, fair.
Fair. Honestly, she really doesn't. She's like, I'm good. I think I'm good. You don't need to protect me. And he's like, are you sure? Like, he only wanted to talk, so he won't stop her if she wants to walk away. But this also may be his last chance for a rematch. And he proposes a test to her invulnerability, a quick spar. And if she wins, she'll leave as she wishes. But if he wins, she has to come with him and tell her story on the record. And while there's no reason for her to fight him, he hopes that she'll accept. And she's like, I mean, like, I might as well go because, like, you're saying I can leave, and he's like, yeah, but I hope you won't. Their dynamic is great.
I love it so much.
I love them a lot. And as he takes off his shoes, he tells her he's thought about their fight at Mr. Shu's apartment a lot. And she's like, really? I haven't at all. And she puts down her bag, takes off her shoes, and they're kind of like warming up a bit. And she's like, okay, I'm down. Why not? And she asks to show her what he's learned since they fought. He's like, oh, if it's all you've been thinking about, okay, what you've learned? What have you learned since then? And basically they start kicking each other's asses.
Yeah.
No holding back. And when he thinks he has her, he asks when the last time was that she lost a fight. And she's like, you know what? I don't really remember. Who remembers things like that? It was a long time ago. And she breaks free. He remembers her move from a fight from the past in which she cut down his best fighter from the dojo that he was in. And she gets more punches in, kicks him in the face. However, he hasn't had enough. And the fight continues as they move towards the stairs. She prevents him from falling down, thank God. Or else he would have broken his neck or something. Whew. And she tells him that he thinks too much. He's like, that's funny, my teacher tells me the same thing. So they're having a nice conversation as they kick each other's asses. It's so good. And they start just walking down the stairs nicely. Like, no kicking ass. They're just walking. And his teacher told him that fighting is something you do not from the head, but from the heart. And she thinks he has to spend more time with his teacher instead of investigating her if he wants to get better at doing that. And he's like, yeah, but this is more fun. So they continue fighting. Continue kicking ass. They had a little pause. And he tells her he understands now why she doesn't remember her fights, because she doesn't really fight a person. She fights something else. She used a false identity to compete because of her father, and Moon thinks that he refused to see her and understand how special she is, which hits a little bit of a nerve, because she goes off on him. Like, she starts kicking and punching a little harder.
Yeah, they do.
And she pulls him down to a lower level of the cemetery. They kind of fall down there. And they continue, but they end up in a position where their faces are quite close.
Yep.
And so they kind of kiss a little bit. Yeah, they do. And it's quite attractive. And after exchanging a nice little tender look, she pretty much finishes the fight and knocks him clean on his ass, knocks him out. He's out. He's down for the count. And she's like, I admit you have improved. And then walks away. So, like, this was great. It's such a good scene. Like,
oh yeah,
they have such a great dynamic. Like, they're so witty with each other,
good.
and they're so, like, you can see there's a lot of, like, care in his eyes as well. Like, it's not just that he's like, ah, you're kind of cool. It's very much like, I really like you. Like, I respect you. And I just really love them. So now with Riley and Will, Riley's relaxing in a spot where it's kind of familiar. She and Will first kissed in this spot, kind of, in their minds. And I don't remember which episode it was, but it was very early on, a couple episodes in. And Will visits her. They share another kiss, and he's like, "Wow, like I can't believe like it's been so long, like since our first kiss in this spot. It's kind of crazy." And he knows he's been acting crazy lately, and she's like, "Yeah, I've noticed." And he's like, "It's just that I've never loved anyone the way that I love you."
Yes.
And so they kiss some more. They're really cute. I just really love them. And she promises to come back to him. And the waiting is apparently the hard part for him. You know, he asks if it's going to be much longer, and she's like, no, probably not. Could be tomorrow. It could be next week. Or right now, as Mr. Hoy says, as he appears next to her. And apparently the archipelago has spoken, and they've been given an address, and she has to go there now. So, don't have to wait much longer. So now with Nomi. Nomi's kind of woken up by Amanita like screaming, like being like, "Oh!" Like, but I love what she does. That Nomi's just like, "What whispers where?" Like, she's like just so out of it. But Amanita's been up all night. She's been looking into this shooting and basically everything going on. And apparently it was British politician Mitchell Taylor. He was giving a speech at a mosque when the shooting happened. And she shows Nomi the video. And Mitchell is saying in the video that this conference is to remind people that free societies are stronger societies. And Amanita explains that he's speaking at some kind of peace congregation with all kinds of people from all different religions. And Mitchell says that cities are the places where the best and brightest go in open and multicultural societies, while they are the places that people want to escape in repressive monocultural societies. So he has he's very forward thinking and is all for like a culturally diverse kind of society where everyone leans on each other. But while he's speaking about this, a man from the audience stands up, pretty much like shoots down a lot of different people, as this is a mass shooting. And Nomi's like horrified. The killer wants to shoot himself, but he's taken down by two of the survivors. And Amanita's like, it's kind of sad, you know? And Mitchell Taylor tried to do something about fear of otherness, and he was immediately shot down. And she started reading up on him. And it kind of dawned on her that the internet is some sort of like Sicilium where memories and moments from their lives exist beyond them.
Yeah.
And ultimately, while she was doing that, she found a picture of Mitchell Taylor with Ruth El Sadawi, who created BPO. She's like, that's a little coincidental. A little interesting. And she thought that maybe the shooting wasn't like altogether just a shooting, you know? And the killer's identity wasn't released until just now, which is why she sat up and screamed. The killer was Todd W. McCarver. Apparently, he also hung himself in prison. And if you remember, Todd is the one that did not want to be a sensate in Angelica's cluster, the one that she gave birth to. So, this is very much like, it's like he wouldn't have done it, but like, it's obvious that he's basically been taken in by BPO as well. Which we knew. We knew that all the kids from that cluster were taken in and were hurt or killed. So this was another instance of that. And him hanging himself in prison was not him hanging himself in prison. It was presumably Whispers. So, yikes. But basically that was connected to BPO too. So everything's kind of connected at this moment. And now we go to Riley and Diego, who have arrived at the church where everything started. This is the address that they were given. It's the church. That I had to really help you remember. And Will's like, I don't like this, and neither does Diego, apparently. They all go inside, and Will is like, we gotta call this off, because this is absolutely insane. We're not gonna go to this church and let this happen here, because like this is obviously a trap. And he's like, we'll just find another way to get rid of Whispers. And Nomi appears and is gonna tell them like, oh, I know why Whispers has been missing. He's kind of been trapped in prison with whatchamacallem, Todd. And yes, and she's like, he bulgered Todd into murdering Mitchell Taylor. And then she only then notices, she's like, wait a second, why are we in this church? And Riley then notices the stairs, and so she goes over there, and Hoy told her that she needed to go downstairs, apparently. And Diego's like, no. Because in a movie, like, if either way, in real life, like, if I were to go downstairs or given that option, I would not do that, in my professional opinion. And in a movie, if I did, then I would be shot down first, because I'm the funny, quirky sidekick. Not doing it. And she's like, well, he told me I had to go alone anyway. And so Diego's like, shit, I'll go wait in the car then. Bye! Fair. He doesn't want to get killed for this. Chill. Will's just like, what the fuck? Diego, come back! He's not coming back. And so they're all pretty much worried, but Riley's like, look, this isn't BPO. They don't do this. This is someone who's frightened and is trying to hide out. I feel like we have to trust what's gonna happen down here. And if she was gonna do what they're about to do, she would be scared too. Yeah. So she goes down the stairs. Her cluster kind of follows her, and she approaches a small stage. And Lito recalls a similar scene from a movie he did. And he's like, great, what happened? Everyone died. Wonderful. Thank you. Not helping Lito. And on the stage, there's a small table with a pill and a glass of water as well that says, drink me, written in the dust. So it's giving Alice in Wonderland. And it's basically a blocker. So, and the cluster's like, I don't think you should do this. Riley's like, look, the person needs to know that they're alone, I think. I think this is what they need. And I'm sure it'll be fine. She takes the pill, and before leaving, Will says, look, I'm giving you 5 minutes, and then I'm sending in Diego. And she's like, fine with me. So the cluster disappears as the blocker kicks in, and Will's left in the apartment worrying. So now that Riley is alone, a woman appears in the room near her. And she tells Riley that she needed to know how far she would go. And that's why she asked her to take the blocker. And it's strange for her to finally meet her. In a way, Riley and her cluster exist because of her. Riley knows she works with Clovey and helped Angelica escape, and that's pretty much how all this came to be. And the woman says they both realized Angelica was going to birth another cluster, and after what happened to her first, she knew Angelica would rather die than let that happen again. So they needed to get her out. And Riley asks why the church. And the woman says Angelica heard her singing one day and asked where she'd learned. And apparently, she did so in this church. It was Angelica's idea to come here. So Riley asks if Angelica was working with BPO. And the woman replies that Angelica was searching for her children more than nothing. And she explains none of them realized how fast BPO was changing when they went into it. And when she first started working for them, it was very different. You know, Ruth Al-Sadawi was a visionary. They met at Stanford, and the work felt like something sacred. And when Ruth died, she hoped Clovey would continue what she began. Maybe at one point he did believe in Ruth's work, like he seemed to, but then he met Milton Bailey Brandt. And that's the name she knew him by at that time. When he first came to the university, he had research and data on the development of the sensorium frontal lobe that they were all desperate for. And they all suspected how he came by this information, but they never really asked because they were very eager to know. And Brandt never would have solved the problems of the neural graft without Angelica. And the graft kind of mimics the connection of a cluster overriding the consciousness of one sensorium onto another, which is how he's able to kind of like hop into people in that way and use them, like when they've been lobotomized and shit. Riley asks why they would even do that, but all the woman has to say for herself is that she's an academic. You know, like it's like we never expected her to go this far, kind of thing. And when she watched what happened in New York, the shooting, it made her realize that if it's within her power to stop something that terrible from happening, then they should do it. And she compares the scars on her wrist to Riley's. Like she's like, oh, we have the same scars. Like very definitively self-harm scars. And the woman, she says the voice in your head, like Angelica always called him that because the voice in your head that tells you to cut your wrist or to jump off of a building or to shoot yourself, like that voice in your head never shouts. It only whispers. And that's why she called him Whispers. And I'm like, that line, it's one of my favorite lines in the whole show. Just like, it never shouts. Like, wow. Oh, wow. And she writes something down on Riley's arm at that moment. She thanks her. And as the woman leaves, Riley watches the address the woman wrote down, and it says 31 Milkwood, Cambridge. So, it's now back in London. Not in London. Yeah, London, actually. Cambridge. Back in London. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Cambridge is London. So she's got to go back now. Or at least let people who are already in London know. And there is someone already in London who knows, and it's Will. So, probably going to let him know. And at that moment, turns out she did, because Will is standing right outside the estate. He's not, like, sensating there or anything like that. There's no way for him to. He's standing outside the estate. He's gone there. And he tells Wolfgang and Sun that Whisper sleeps on blockers, so he couldn't reach him a few hours ago. And they don't know for sure that Whispers is in there because of that. And Sun says they are pretty much wasting time, since he could wake while they're just standing here. So what are we even doing? And Wolfgang agrees. So Will decides to go in, but he's stopped by a voice saying, can you really kill a man in cold blood? He turns around and it's Jonas! Jonas is there! Dun dun dun! He's alive, bitch! What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But I don't trust it.
You don't trust it.
He said, because he asked, like, oh, would you really kill a man in cold blood? But we're talking about whispers.
True.
So why would he be against that?
True. Why would he be against that?
Last we see him, he was getting, like, lobotomized, so it seems. So I don't trust this Jonas.
You don't trust this Jonas?
I think this is like a lobotomized Jonas clone thing or whatever. Whisper puppet. I don't know what to call it, but I don't trust it.
Okay. I see that. I see why. Well, I guess we'll have to find out next week because that's where the episode ends.
Yeah, that's where the episode ends, so I'm fucked out. Yeah.
So, MVP, yeah. Who's your MVP?
I got mine, actually. I realized it as we were talking. I was like, actually, I think it's you. 3, 2, 1.
Diego?
Diego.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
He's just great. And honestly, the fact that he's like willing to do anything for his friends still, even though it's been a year since they've talked, says a lot.
Yeah. And like I like that he had his moment. He had his pissed off moment. He had his anger moment towards Will, and that was all fair and valid. But like at the end, he was like, I need your help. And he's like, fine, what? And he was like willing to help and take Riley, someone he didn't really know, like all these things, like doing all this stuff and like to help. And I think it was great.
Oh yeah. No, he's absolutely standout person. Grades from last week. We've got, let's see, the title was I Have No Room in My Heart for Hate. You said had to do with Kala. You were wrong. I see why you said it though. Next one was I Am Home. You said had to do with Lito. You were right. I feel like you didn't mean it in that context, but you were right.
I didn't, but I was right.
You were right, so you take that. Next one was Moon, which I could have changed, but I didn't. I just made it Moon. You were right. You said Sun because this is the. And third one was Church, and you said Riley, who is the one that goes to the church, which is right. But also, I put in parentheses here, I really helped you.
You really did.
I had to really aid you in that one.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Church. I was like, what?
But I guess 100%, but I'm not gonna really say 100%.
Well, okay, fine.
You can take it if you want, but like
I will take it. I worked hard for that last one.
Yeah, okay, sure. So your vibes for next episode. The title is All I Want Right Now Is One More Bullet. It's a Sense8 that says it.
I think it's Will.
You think it's Will?
I think if he's gonna go in and confirm Whispers, they're gonna have a whole back and forth.
Alright. I see. Alright, so I've written Will down. You have 3 vibes. One of them is depressed.
Probably Toby just got fired.
He did just get fired. So. A familiar, in parentheses, not necessarily friendly, face.
How familiar are we talking? Like, are we talking like someone from season 1 or like someone who we've seen? Like
someone from season 1.
Okay.
We haven't seen him since, I don't think.
I'll say Riley, I guess? I don't know.
Okay.
That's pretty shitty guess.
And your last one isn't necessarily like... I don't think you can really guess. You can kind of guess, but not really. Is Cluster versus Cluster.
Cluster versus Cluster?
Yeah, it's pretty sick scene, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so I have 2 thoughts. One, that our Sense8 cluster goes against maybe like another cluster, like Whispers kills his cluster, like maybe like Leela's cluster or whatever, and like there's like a fight between 2 clusters. Or is it like our cluster divided in 2 against each other, like 4 on one side, 4 on the other? It's kind of like a Civil War type dynamic.
Do you want to guess whose cluster? Yeah, I can write down like whose cluster that our cluster goes up against.
Well, so was I right with that one? Was it our cluster versus another cluster?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you that. It's like, wouldn't it be kind of boring if it was someone else's cluster versus someone else's cluster?
Oh no. Well, another option was like our cluster versus our cluster. Like it's like four of them have one idea for like kind of like Civil
no.
War, like that. Like they butt heads
no.
for like.
Like one whole cluster versus another whole cluster.
So it's our cluster versus someone else. I mean, I'm assuming Leela, right? She's the only one who we know have another cluster.
True.
And we've kind of seen members of her cluster.
We have kind of seen some members of her
or we've
cluster.
seen at least one, but like, I don't know. That's my guess.
You make points. But voila, those are your vibes.
Okay.
So that was episode 7. I have no room in my heart for hate. So we'll see you next week for Sense8 Season 2, Episode 8. All I want right now is one more bullet.
Okay. We